Okay, last but not least, guys, here we are. We're back at it again. In this video, I'm going to crack open Keyshot. Look at, here it is. It's already open. And I'm going to take that dog toy that I had shown you how to create line work from using the drawing file in our last video. And I'm going to do a rendering of it here in Keyshot. Let's see, where's my process book? I'm going to go to SW for SolidWorks. I've got my SW file right here, and I'm just going to import this in just like that. There we go. And then let me go over here. Now, my setup in Keyshot is a little bit different than yours. In fact, I think it's totally backwards in the school version, where I've got my libraries over here and then my project files are over here on the left. So anyway, you can figure it out when you get in there. But I'm just going to go over and pick some materials. I'll probably pick some paint. Let's go ahead, and I'm trying to think about my book right now and just like, what colors do I want? Let's see. I'm going to probably pick, like, let's just do gloss blue. Forget about it. Now, our line work is in blue right now. Yeah, see, so let's change this to blue. We'll call that like that. And there we go. Okay. So if we right click on this, we have the option to move the part. We have move model. We have select material. That's always something good to know. I think for this, we're pretty good. We're just going to go and collect an environment. Good environments are always the ones that are built from a real scene, I think. So like if we take this scene and we put it in the background like that, that looks pretty good as far as highlights and shadows are concerned. So I'm pretty happy with that one. But, you know, the scene doesn't really make sense, and also the scale of the dog toy in the scene doesn't make sense either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to environment, and I'm going to turn off lighting environment and just turn on a color. And in this case, it's going to be white. So white is the background color. All right. So that's that. So now I'm super happy with this. Let me just kind of zoom around this thing a little bit and see what kind of options I have for lighting. I don't want any backlighting. You know, backlighting would be if, you know, my light source was behind me and the shadows were in front of me. So that's a good example of backlighting, right? I want to have the light source kind of sticking right on the front of my piece, maybe at kind of like a 45 or something like that. So there we go. So you can really see the highlights of the thing. I think about like that is good. Okay, so there we go. So I've installed a lighting environment, but I turned the lighting environment visibility off over under environment. Under material, I've got a list of materials that I want. If I wanted to change this material, I could go like this and double click the material and just pick a new color if I wanted. That's always an option for me. Let's see, let's do that and see how she looks. Looks okay. I don't know. I kind of like the original blue. So let's go back and we'll just grab the original blue and put it back on there. Okay, good. Nice, just like that. I think that's shiny enough for me and probably for anybody in the world. So let's go ahead and just knock out a rendering right here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and give it a name like, let's see, render 1 sounds good for just the moment. And then I'm going to pay special attention to the folder that Keyshot is going to save my file into. And right now it's users, GMDZ, documents, Keyshot renderings. That's not where I want to save it. I want to save it, of course, in the folder where I'm keeping all the files for my InDesign document, which is on my desktop under process book. And in this case, we've got images. Okay, there we go. I'm going to hit select folder to reset the location that Keyshot is going to save my file into. And then we're on to the next part. This is the part I've been telling you all about. So far, we've been learning how to make JPEG files, which are great. Those are fantastic image files. But if you right click on, or just click in general on that format button, you'll get a couple of different options. You got TIFFs, you got something called EXR, and you got TIFF 32-bit. TIFF's just like a little bit better image file. There's specific applications for it, none of which we need to worry about in this class. But the one I want to talk about is PNG. So click on PNG and compare it to the JPEG. If we go back to JPEG, we see a couple of differences in our image output options. So under JPEG, we've got this include alpha transparency button here, and it's grayed out. We can't click it. We can't choose for transparency. But if we change to PNG, suddenly the alpha transparency button becomes available to click. So we'll click it. See, that's the thing about PNG files, is that PNGs are the only ones that will allow you to get a transparent background. And this is the part. After you hit render, you get this options button, and then you get the option to choose PNG and then include transparency inside of your PNG. Okay? So that's that. All right. Now I'm going to go to presets. This is the thing that sets the resolution, which also sets the size of the rendering that you're trying to make. Right now, our resolution is set to 800 by 598, which is super duper small. That equals a print size of 2.6 inches by 1.9 inches. I mean, thinking about that, 2 inches by 1.9, and then comparing that to my book size, which is 4 by 6, it doesn't make any sense, especially because I know that I'm going to put this rendering over to the side of the line work that I just made in Illustrator. I probably want an image size of, geez, I don't know, probably like maybe 6 inches in width. Oh, let's see here. Let's just go here, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to type a 6 into that. There we go. And it's all set so that when I type in the size of the width that I want, it will update the resolution, and that's good. We've got it set to 300 dpi, so we are good to go. All right. Let me just rename this thing so I remember the name is correct. So I'm going to just call it Dog Toy Blue 6. As in 6 inches. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to hit the render button and I'm going to wait for it. Okay, and now I am good. So we're going to wait for a second while Keyshot does its thing. This might take a second, so just talk amongst yourselves as we wait for Keyshot to finalize our rendering. As we can see already, it's looking super good. Keyshot's an amazing rendering program. I'm really happy to be teaching it to you guys because it will always take everything that you do and make it look 10 times better. That's it. It's done just like that. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and hit this X button, and I can X actually all the way out of Keyshot at this point. Go to my process book, double click on this folder, go to images, and there's my dog toy just right there. So I'm going to click and drag and just drag down to Photoshop, because like as with any of my Photoshop or any of my images that I create, whether they're renderings from Keyshot or whether they're images I take with my camera, I want to open Photoshop and I want to open those images and just take a look at the size and the resolution of them. I'm just double checking the work that Keyshot and our camera can do. Good. And there we go. That is what we wanted. We made a PNG file. We included transparency, and that's exactly what we get. We get a fantastic transparent image with a shadow, if you can see that. I hope you can see that on your video. There's the shadows included as well. So we're really happy about that. Let's just take our image size and let's just double check. It looks like it made a 72 dpi file. Let's go 300 for that. And then let's also just notice that the size right now is 25 inches. Let's shrink it down to, I'm going to make it an 8-inch width because I seem to have so much extra sides on either side of my document. So I think that should do the trick. So there we go. Fantastic. Happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to just hit save, so it saves it as the PNG file. See, we're editing with Photoshop, but we're creating PNG files. There we go. I'm going to switch back over to InDesign now at this point, and I am going to select this golden retriever photo, and I am going to delete him. He's done with for now. We are done with that guy, and I'm just going to go ahead and place my new rendering into my document. So here we are with my process book, images, dog toy 6 PNG file. Hit open, and I'm going to go like this and just place this guy in here. Now you can see we're placing this PNG file in here. You can see the shadow shows up, but the background does not. So we have a transparent background on here. So if we wanted this thing to sit over our font like that, we have that option. But for this one, I think we're going to probably put it, we'll probably put it right here, just like this. Let's place it where we want it. Computer's acting really slow. It's like, what are you doing? Okay, cool. And then there we go. We can use our image frame here to kind of crop it. Maybe allow us access to what's behind. You can also do something else too. If you right click on an image that's overlapping another image inside of InDesign and go to arrange, then you have the option to send to back. So you can send it forward or backwards. So in this case, I'm going to send it backwards. That's going to allow me to click on my wireframe and just put it over here. There we go. And that is looking really, really good. I'm pretty happy with that right there. Okay. So now we've got my rendering. Now I do have all these little boxes and stuff that are around each image that I've added to my process book. If I want to get rid of those just for a second to see what it looks like, it's up here under View and go to Overprint Preview, and it'll take all that stuff away. All right. Under View, there's a whole bunch of options. You've got proof setup, you've got proof colors, you've got fit page in window, which will bring the one page right up to your face. You've got actual size, entire pasteboard, screen mode. Play around with all of these little options under here, and I think you'll see that they're a pretty good way to take a look at what you're going to get in your final option. For us, this is fantastic. We've got our rendering and we've got our line work sitting side by side. We're super happy with that. If we wanted to come in here and take a little text box, we could do that super easy. Just type this in and be like, okay, we're going to add type here later. I don't know what we're going to say, so I'm just going to fill this with placeholder text, and it's going to look really good. All right. So we'll take this and just kind of move it up a little bit. Get our frame out of the way so we don't get cropped. There we go. And I think we're good to go with just that one, just like that. Okay. Fantastic, guys. There it is. Creating a transparent PNG file and using Photoshop to make sure everything is correct as far as resolution and sizing and all that, and then combining that with a wireframe created from SolidWorks really tells the story of what you made in the program. So first here we see the rendered version, then we see the inside. We get to see some of the details. This is the kind of stuff that's really going to impress people that don't do CAD work, that don't do SolidWorks. They're going to be like, how'd you make that? And you're going to say, okay, it's a long story, okay? Don't forget at any point, if you're deciding that the blue of this rendering and the blue of this line work is not working for you, you can always go to the wireframe AI file here. You can go to Edit With, CC. It opens up in Illustrator right off the bat, and you can change the color super easy, okay? Illustrator is going to open up just like this. We just select that. We're going to go here, double click on the color of the rendering. We're going to pick something really bright this time. Of course, it'll be pink. And then we'll save that. I'm using hotkeys, Control S on the PC and Control W to close the file. And there we go. I'm going to switch back over to InDesign now, and you see that the file updates instantaneously. So now we have a little bit of contrast, and we are good to go. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is actually going to conclude all the 4 videos that I wanted to make for you to just practice. You've got everything you need now to knock out an amazing book, everything from how to edit your files through SolidWorks, to make wireframes, to make renderings with transparent background in Keyshot, to doing page numbers in InDesign. You've got it all. So feel free to email me over the break, and I will see you guys in our next class. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video series, and I will see you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.